To factor a perfect square trinomial, you need to determine whether the first and the third terms are both perfect squares and positive coefficients. If they do, then you can factor using one of the two forms below. So the factor forms of a perfect square trinomial are a squared plus 2ab plus b squared factors down to a plus b squared, and a squared minus 2ab plus b squared is a minus b all squared. So what you have to know is the first term here, a, needs to be positive, and the last term here, b squared, needs to be positive. If the second term here is positive, then our sign inside is positive, and if our second sign here is negative, our sign inside is also negative. So, to factor each trinomial, we're going to start off with x squared plus 14x plus 49. And so since we're doing stuff with perfect square trinomial, this is one. And we can see that by the fact that this x squared is just x times x, and that 49 is 7 times 7. So I can say that x squared plus 14x plus 7 squared. So 14 is just 2 times 7 times x, but we're really mostly focusing on the first and the third terms. So since it's a plus up front, this will factor down to something plus something squared. So a here is x, b here is 7, and there's the factor form of this trinomial. Next, I have 25y squared minus 20y plus 4. And again, my first term is positive, my third term is positive, and I can say that 25y squared is just 5y all squared, and that my last term is just 2 squared. So since this term here, or since this sign here is a negative sign, my factored form of this whole thing is going to be something minus something squared. And what goes first is 5y, and what goes second is 2. And here is a factor form of this trinomial. Here we have 5y squared plus 30w plus 45. Now I want to try and use the trinomial technique, but 5 and 45 are not perfect trinomials. However, 5, 30, and 45 have a GCF, which is 5. So I can factor out a 5. And I'm left with w squared plus 6w plus 9. And look at here. W squared is a perfect square, and 9 is a perfect square because it's just 3 squared. So 5 with one set of parentheses, and don't forget, this is a plus here, so it's a plus here. So my a term is w, and my b term is 3 squared. And that is the factored form, this time with the GCF, so always check GCF first. Last, 4x squared minus 4xy plus y squared. And I can see that 4x squared is just 2x all squared, and that y squared is just y squared. So the factored form, again, is 1 parentheses that's squared, and my sign here is a minus, so I'm going to put a minus here. And my a term is 2x, so 2x. And my b term is y, so I put in y. And here is the factored form of this trinomial.